What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again, and in this episode we take on the Washington Capitals in the first round of these Season 7 playoffs. Now, two quick things. We did indeed change the captain back to David Savard. That little experiment is over for now with Moses. We gave the alternate to Stenlund. I mean, it was a toss-up on who we'd give it to, as I'll show you with the morale. We have a lot of players designated as a presence. Of course, Moses was as well until I took the captaincy off of him. But we could have gone with Abramov. We go with Line and Stenlund as the alternates. But like I said in the comments section of the last episode, I wasn't afraid to run with Moses as the captain, especially when our team was doing as well as they were. It didn't really hurt anything. The other thing I didn't show you guys was the AHL scoring, which there were some impressive numbers there for players on Cleveland. 51 points for J.C. Donovan. I'm pretty sure he'll be our top call-up. He's the captain of that team, and he had a solid year. Zach Matthews is looking good, but he's only a 75, so he's a little bit of a ways away. Thomas Kallio is an 80, only 31 points, and then Evan Tambellini with 29. But it's looking like J.C. Donovan will probably be our main call-up. His defense isn't the best, though, so it'll depend on what we do. Seth Moses is obviously at risk of being scratched, and we do have Luke Glendening coming back from injury in, I believe, 5 days. So to start this series, we will have Seth Moses in. These are the lines we are rolling with. We're going to have Abramov, Stenlund, and Dahlman, Hall, Velarde, and Moses. And of course, the top two remains the same. Defense as well. Someone brought up the main point that giving Jarrett top line time wouldn't exactly be a bad idea. I don't disagree. So if Chychrun or Jasper struggles, maybe we'll see Jarrett up on a higher pairing. Of course, with Ralph Jarrett, him being on the third pairing and him being on the top line power play has been great for him. He doesn't have the pressure of needing to carry the team, which he wouldn't be able to. He's only an 84. So he is in a very good spot right now. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Thankfully, we're in a much better spot because I showed off the player stats in the last episode. Washington, 91, 88, and 93. I should say, though, I'm starting to put less stock. That was almost horrifically botched. Starting to put less stock into the overalls after editing the offline roster, because the overalls are just a crapshoot. Like, the math behind it just doesn't make sense. But that is an entirely different discussion for an entirely different time. Here are the Caps, who we knocked out in, 5 games last year? Top line, and we don't even need to look at stats, whatever. It is Marcus Johansson with Evgeny Kuznetsov, and Ovi is still there, back on the first line, rather than being on the fourth. Interesting. Patrick Hornqvist, Nicholas Backstrom, and Andrei Burakovsky, the man who isn't Russian. He's not Russian, remember that? Seriously, I mean, it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I know he's from Sweden, whatever. Riley Barber is with Chris Tierney and Tom Wilson, and then Emerson Edom is with Serge Vauclair and Lars Eller. The 7th overall pick from the 2021 draft is on their fourth line. I'd personally swap him with Chris Tierney, but what do I know? Overall, a very well-rounded team with some very dangerous players. So offensively, I'm concerned. Defensively, I am not as concerned. I shouldn't have said that. Madison Bowie and Roman Bartek is the top pair they are rolling with. Lucas Johansson is with John Carlson. And then Catherine Persaud, because that's a man's name. Is this the first woman to make it to the NHL? Catherine Persaud, 5'11", an Amazon, is with Frankie Corrado. So that third pairing is pretty weak. They'll score 17 goals in the series. Braden Holtby is the goalie. He'll, of course, always give them a chance with Ranta as the backup. Verana is scratched. Varlamov is not in their lineup, and Antoine Morand is there. So that is just flat out their defense. How were they as good as they were with that defense? Oh, never mind. I know the answer. It's called Braden Holtby. He is called Braden Holtby, and he is the reason as to why they are as good as they are. You know, we don't even need to look at the stats. We don't even need to look at the stats. We're getting right into this series. Their stats are irrelevant We were the best team in the NHL, and we are going to walk over Washington in this first round series. So let's do this. It is game one. It is the first period on home ice. Can we get off to a good start? And we can't. Score the second period, though. We are going to turn it on. There you go. Jesse Puljujarvi with the opening goal. A lot of shots in this game. And we have the 1-0 lead heading in to the final 20 minutes of regulation. An early power play for Washington that we are able to kill off. Things are looking okay, and now things are looking even better. Kevin Stenlund with that newly minted A on his jersey gives us a 2-0 lead. 5 minutes to go. It's looking good, guys. It is looking good. Seth Jones with the empty netter, and the Nords. Oh my God, that is a statement win right there. 3-0 over the Washington Capitals. You guys lost to Ralph Jarrett. How the hell are you going to deal with Joonas Korpisalo? You're not. You got nothing. You cannot match Joonas Korpisalo. I would take Korpisalo over Holtby any day of the week, at least in this sim. And we have a 1-0 series lead. A great start for us. And we're going to jump right in to game two and hope that we can keep this up. First period of game two. Will it be scoreless again? I doubt it. Let's find out. And no, it was. Wow. Scoreless again in the first period. Pretty even shots again in the first period. Second period, we are still scoreless. After two, it is a goalie duel. As we start the third period, though, Puljujarvi, my God, welcome. Just welcome to the playoffs where you have to play the Nords. Puljujarvi is here. He is ready to play. We trade power plays. Nobody can score. 8.5 to go. Another power play for Washington that we are able to kill off. 3:25 to go. Is that going to be all? Oh, my God, it is. Puljujarvi, 2 games. 2 game-winning goals. Korpisalo, 2 games, 2 shutouts. Oh my God, he is back. You know, I don't blame Ty Edmonds for the loss whatsoever, but clearly it's not a 1A, 1B situation. Clearly, Joonas Korpisalo is our guy. 2 straight shutouts. My God, talk about defending home ice. What a perfect start. We get Glendening back. No need to change anything right now as we move forward. It is game 3 in Washington. Of course, Glendening is ready, and it will also be the Cleveland Monsters' last game of the season. Of course, we know they're not making the playoffs, so our focus is solely on the Nords. Game 3 in Washington. You know they're finally going to get the Korpisalo, but hopefully we can escape with the win. First period, and there it is. Alvin Dahlman gets the opening goal, and then about a minute 21 seconds later, Kuznetsov ties this game up. So both goalies for the first time get beat in the first period. Second period, what will happen? And we will take a 3-1 lead is what will happen. Velarde on the fourth line gets a goal, and then Matthew Tkachuk makes it a 3-1 scoreline. 14 shots apiece, but we are getting the Holtby, and that sets us up. Oh my God, that sets us up for a very big third period. We walk away with a win here. We have a 3-0 series lead on the Caps. We couldn't score on that power play, and then Lars Eller gets one back. Washington is not done yet. Halfway through the period, Nolan Patrick makes it 4-2. Welcome aboard. Already doing better than Matt Duchene did in the last postseason. Marcus Johansson brings them to within 1. And Alex Ovechkin ties it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. We had it. We had it. I said we were getting the Holtby. They are getting the Korpisalo. In this game, I thought Nolan Patrick's goal that made it 4-2 would be enough. But in 2 minutes, Marcus Johansson and Alex Ovechkin tie this game up. And that sets us up for overtime here in Game 3. This is huge for the Caps. Huge for us, really. I'd love to have that 3-0 series lead. Let's do this. Will it end early? Will it end early? We're going to escape 5 minutes. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Will it be a 3-0 series lead or 2-1 in our favor? And Matthew Tkachuk gives us the answer. It is a 3-0 series lead for the Nords. The Caps came so close with heroics from Johansson and Alex Ovechkin. But at the end of it, it is the game-winning goal for Tkachuk. I didn't mean to go to this screen, but we know who the first star of the game is going to be. 4 points for Tkachuk. That top line had one hell of a night. And actually, I want to look at the minutes. Moses, Hall, and Velarde, that's a decent amount of time for some fourth liners. But they were minus players, which is concerning. So clearly that fourth line got picked apart a little bit. Kuznetsov and Ovechkin with 3 points each. But Matthew Tkachuk, a 4-point night. And that gives us the 3-0 series lead in the first round. It's only the first round, but things are looking good. Scouting assignment, why the hell not? Am I over in Russia? No, I'm in, and they don't have a goalie. So we will scout the Czech League for a week. Why the hell not? The AHL regular season is over. The question is, I'm not going to make any changes now, so I don't know why I backed out there. I'm not going to make any changes now, but we will definitely check on that fourth line, hopefully once Game 4 is over, and hopefully once this series is over. Game 4, we're up 3-0. Let's end it now. We don't need to go back to QC, although I'd love it on the home playoff game. Get that extra money in there. First period of Game 4 is scoreless again. Second period, and it's a, wow, Chris Tierney and Johansson. The two, well, what was it, a third-line center and second pairing defenseman. The 2 goals for the Caps, and we are in trouble. We are in a little bit of trouble. Heading into the third period, can we get heroics of our own to avoid having to go back to QC for Game 5? That is the question. We're halfway through the period, though. It's not looking good. We gave Braden Holtby a little bit of space. Took a little bit of pressure off. Passy Hall gets a goal. We have a chance. Matthew Tkachuk ties the game. The same exact thing they did to us. Exactly 2 minutes apart. Oh my God. Turnabout is fair play. And the Nords are not done yet. 37 saves for Braden Holtby. But it wasn't enough. Passy Hall and Matthew Tkachuk have given us life. I'm gonna calm down here. I'm gonna calm down just a little bit because they could very well end it in the first 5 seconds of overtime, and all this excitement will be for nothing. In this overtime, with the series on the line, I don't care if it's one of our big name players. I don't care if it's someone like Velarde or even maybe our enforcer. Let's do this. Overtime, and it is over. Nolan Patrick. I told you it could end within seconds. It wasn't 5 seconds, but 39 seconds into it, Nolan Patrick. I don't care. Oh, man, I'm happy we got him. I didn't want to trade Matt Duchene, because Matt Duchene 2 years ago had a great postseason. He was terrible last year, but already Nolan Patrick has had a better first round, has had a better playoffs than Duchene did. Nolan Patrick gets the game winner. Again, I didn't mean to go to team stats. We have swept the Washington Capitals. 2 straight games go to overtime. Our top line sweeps the 3 stars of the game category. And the Nords are moving on. Unbelievable. 6 goals. 6 goals given up by Joonas Korpisalo. We scored 12 in 4 games. Not too shabby at all. And we will be the only... Actually, no, Pittsburgh has a chance. Pittsburgh has a chance to sweep. But quickly, let's take a look at the player stats. In the first round, 4 games, remember. 4 games played. 6 points for Matthew Tkachuk. 4 for Nolan Patrick. And 5 helpers from Patrick Laine. Very, very good from that top line. Of course, that top line is a big part of the reason why we fell just short last year. Pete Gerby didn't do anything, but he was a +3, so that's interesting. 1 point from Lutzer, but he was a +3. Puljujarvi, though, has 3 points, so I'm a little bit disappointed in Lutzer and Gerby, but Puljujarvi's great. And I mean, it's not like we're going to drop Lutzer or Gerby down to the third line, at least not yet. I mean, if it gets bad enough, maybe we could. Third line, Abramov didn't do anything. He was a +1. Stenlund had a goal. He was a +1. And Alvin Dahlman, 2 points. So not too bad, chipping in there. We were very much carried by our top line. And then the fourth line, very interesting. Passy Hall, 1 goal, but a -2. Velarde, 2 points, but a -1. And then Seth Moses. I said we'd probably take a look. What do we do with Seth Moses, guys? You guys saw the AHL scoring. We have Luke Glendening right here, ready to go. We could play him at right wing. We could play him at center. Or down in the AHL, we could go with J.C. Donovan, probably, as the main call-up, as you get a look at his stats. Kallio, not too bad. And Evan Tambolini, not too bad. But actually, looking at Luke Glendening, he does have a higher poise rating than the other players. Solid defensively. He's just a very well-rounded player. He wasn't a big point getter for us in the regular season, 9 points in 38 games, but it might be worth having him there. I think I know what most people are going to say, and maybe the Seth Moses experiment has come to an end, but that is up to you guys. Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if we should make any other changes as well. Of course, as you have seen by the fact that we had Seth Moses to begin with, I'm more than willing to listen to what you guys have to say. But right now, let's quickly hold this team meeting, try to get a little bit more morale up. We'll go demanding, and hey, look at that, it didn't backfire. Demanding seems to be the default option this year that doesn't seem to piss off too many people, which is kind of nice. But moving forward, we need to find out, and actually, I won't do it from this menu. I'll do it from the other menu so that we can keep an eye on every series. Let's find out who is moving on. So we sim the next day, and, so many numbers changed, I don't even know what the hell happened. What I do know is that the Penguins have swept the New York Islanders, so that series has come to an end. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Avs in 5. They are moving on. Will any other series end? No, every other series currently at 3-2. Carolina beats Toronto in 6. You have the first two series on the West Coast going. Actually, no, Calgary and Nashville are going to 7. I'm just going to stop talking. I'm sitting here seeing numbers. Now both series on the left are going to 7. All 4 remaining series are going to Game 7s, which is pretty damn crazy. But we are pretty much all but guaranteed to take on Pittsburgh in the next round. Nashville is moving on in the West, and the round has ended. As we expected, it is Pittsburgh. In the West, LA, Nashville, St. Louis, and Edmonton. The other series here in the East is Tampa and Carolina. So in the next episode, guys, we take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, 46-33-3 in the regular season. We will, of course, take a look at their lineup and see what they have to offer. But as expected, as we hoped, we have gotten past the first round. Anything short of winning the Cup this year would, of course, be a disappointment, and we are well on our way to doing that after sweeping Washington. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions or just what you thought of this episode. And as always, if you enjoyed, make sure to support my channel in any way you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next one, where we take on Pittsburgh in the second round.